All right, good morning, guys. So sorry for missing class yesterday. Um, hope that it did not set you back too much. I plan on being in class on Friday so that I can answer any questions in person. My husband still is in the hospital though, and we don't for sure know that he will be out and good to go on Friday. So there is always the possibility that I won't be there, but as of now, like I said, I plan on being in class on Friday to answer any questions for you. But what I wanted to do was provide you just with, I guess, a little bit of insight as to how to complete the final reflection paper for your field experience. So remember, there are three parts that I want you to reflect on. First, a reaction to the experience as a whole. Second, a summary of how you would carry this out at a whole class level, meaning in your field experience, you gave assessments, so a running record to one student and conferred with one student. Um, Based on those assessments. As a classroom teacher, you will need to be able to do that with all of your students, and odds are you will be the only educator in your classroom. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to assess and confer with individual students when you have a whole classroom room of students in front of you? So I want to know, what could be a plan for you so that you could carry this out at a whole class level. It is definitely something that takes practice. It is a management. It's a management thing more than anything, and figuring out what are your other students going to be actively engaged in doing because they need to be being purposeful with their time as well. So we've talked about this in class briefly. I would refer to the cafe book. I would also refer to the daily five and figure out, as a classroom teacher, how would you set this up and manage your classroom so that you could get to every single one of your 24 students, give them a running record, find out what is their instructional reading level, and then decide what do they need to work on. Do they need to work on accuracy? Do they need to work on comprehension? Do they need to work on fluency? Do they need to work on expanding vocabulary? And how are you going to work on that unique skill with that student when you have 24, 25 other kiddos in your class? So that's what part two is about. And then part three, obviously, you probably still have some lingering questions. If I were to go sit into an elementary classroom, I would have to do some research to make sure that I am right on track. So as you're thinking about what you would do, think also about what are your lingering questions, and then see if you can find out some information. So in terms of information, thedailycafe.com is a website by the authors of Cafe and Daily Five. The problem is some of the resources on this website you have to pay for. So if you can't find a resource that you don't have to pay for, there you can also go back to your class books because you have those books, the Cafe book and the Daily Five book. And that's fine. Or go ahead and seek out another resource online and see if you can find out some information. There are countless numbers of classrooms that use the Daily Five, and they use cafe assessment systems across our country. There are lots of teachers that publish what they do online. So see if you can find some additional information past what we've done in class and summarize what you've learned. So what do you want to know more about? What's your resource? And what did you learn as you read through that resource that will help you to assess and individualize instruction for each student in your class. So that is the three parts that you will write about within that final reflection. Um, so remember, there is a rubric. I would recommend looking at this rubric closely because I will be looking for these things as I score your assessment. So to get all points for your reaction to the classroom as a whole, you should include a detailed reflection on what went well as what was challenging, and then also describe what are your next steps in this process. So as you go into your student teaching, as you go into your own classroom, what are you going to work on, or what are you going to try to improve? So that's what I'm looking for that you have in part one. Part two, as you're thinking about, how you would apply this kind of a structure as on the whole class level, so reaching all 24 of your students, I want you to be able to apply what we've read in the cafe book to describe a plan of action. In addition, you should have mentions of some elements of a balanced literacy program, such as reading workshops, small group instruction, that sort of thing. So I am seeing that you have some understanding of, how assessment and remediation fits into your literacy program as a whole. That's that part of the rubric. And then part three, I'm looking for a student, or for that third part where you're just noting your new learning from the research that you do, a question or concern that you've presented. So what do you want to know more about? And then stating how the content applies, the content that you learn applies to that question and concern, and then applies this new source to the field experience or whole class implementation. So that's essentially what I am looking for you to cover, and that's kind of my checklist of things. I will be in class on Friday. We do have class on Friday. That's your time to turn in your portfolio, so you really should be done. That being said, I wasn't in class on Wednesday, so if you would like a few minutes to ask some clarifying questions and then print your final reflection in class on Friday, I would be happy to do that for you. In addition to turning in your binders on Friday, we will also be signing up for rounds for your technology presentations during our final time, and just kind of going over the expectations for that as well. So those are the big things that we'll accomplish. If your binder is ready to go on Friday, I don't anticipate that you will be in class the full 50 minutes. If it's not, then you probably will be. But I would like you to be there, like I said, A, to turn in your binder, and B, to sign up for your field experience rounds. And let's see, what else was I going to tell you on Wednesday in class? I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions as you wrap this up. I'm available via email or phone most of the day. I will probably be in and out of the hospital, but we'll have my phone with me as long as it doesn't die. So please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you in class on Friday, and we will go from there. So let's see. Oh, the other thing I should let you know is that you turn in your field experience binder on Friday. My intention is to return that to you when you come to our final time, which, by the way, just a reminder, our final time for our ELED 459 class, since we have class Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11, is Wednesday, May 6th from 10:30 to 12:30. So that's when you will be doing your technology presentations. So with that being said, you guys have a great Thursday. I will see you tomorrow in class, fingers crossed, and I will talk to you more then. Thanks. Bye.